So, find myself back out here. I've got this going now, so take the hood off of it. It has been sleeting, snowing all afternoon, all morning. Yeah, and I thought at one point I might be putting up a tarp in the garden just so I could come out here and sit and record this, but I haven't had to. It has finally stopped. It's still breezy, still cold, not freezing cold. The snow of last weekend has gone. Yeah. Sunday morning we ended up having a bit more snow, quite a bit more snow, a couple of inches. I went out for a walk. Well, amazing. Snowed this morning. Come out for a walk. Best bit about snow is when you come back, your boots are clean. Clean. Yeah. Snow pulls all the mud that gets onto the bottom of the treads off. You know, it makes life considerably easier. So we are out here having a cup of tea. We've got no cleaning to do today. I'm just chatting now. Having a bit of fun, enjoying myself. Now, last week I mentioned that I hadn't been camping for a while. Yeah, I hadn't been walking properly for a while, but I've done more walking than camping, that's for certain, because me and the missus do like to go walking. But I didn't say what I was going to do about it, apart from the fact that I got myself some kit out. And I bought myself this little push box. It's great. It's a great unit. Yeah. And it's a nice way to have a controlled fire. Yeah. Even if it's on the back garden. I cheated again. I haven't got any. I've got charcloth now, yeah, but I haven't got any sort of like bird's nest tinned material, so I'm using a bit of shredded paper. It's got to be burned, so doesn't need much. Just needs a little bit chopped in there, you know. Keep this stoked. Get that cup of tea boiled. And what I decided at the back end of last year, well, towards the back end of last year, is that while I haven't been camping, it's one of the reasons why probably I felt a bit disconnected. It was always a great way of connecting with Mother Nature and feeling part of the bigger picture. So I decided that I would get my gear together and I'd go and do some camping, whether that's on a paid site or whether it's wild camping up on the Peak District, Wales, Lake District, Scotland even. Oh, Scotland, lovely Scotland. Any of those would work very nicely for me. Oops, losing control of my fire here, it's not very good. I need smaller pieces, I think. Still not quite. So I had already decided that I was going to get myself out camping this year. So much for that so far. But I've managed to get all my gear together. And I do want to make a cup of tea outside. Makes for a bit of fun, doesn't it? Yeah, so lockdown had happened again. Put us back indoors. Only outdoors if you're going out for a bit of exercise once per day. Yeah. Well, good people, do what we're asked, even if it is getting a bit bloody frustrating. That's better. So yeah, I've got all my gear, I've got my plans, I'm ready to rock and roll. I've dug the Trangia out, given it a good clean. I did treat my petrol stove up. Oh, oops, I didn't survive. There's a couple of O-rings in that have gone, and you put pressure on it and petrol starts leaking everywhere. You want that when it's up at pressure and you're trying to cook your spaghetti bolognese or whatever it is, or vegetarian spaghetti bolognese. Ask Rich about that. Did a meme on when we went up to Conway. It's very good. So I'm just catching a few thoughts, and I started watching a few sort of like wild campers and YouTubers that, you know, are out there doing their thing, and the likes of Paul Messi, Wild Bear, Fun-Sized Earthling, Paleo Hiker MD. Yeah, they're just a few of the ones I've been watching, catching, and they've been inspiring. It's dangerous, inspiring, and of course they're showing all the new kit. I haven't bought much except for this, you know. And it's really getting the juices flowing for when they get out there. Train of thought. Yeah, I'm not doing this scripted, by the way. You know, it's just me, my thoughts. You may have noticed the title of my YouTube channel is Martin Edward, the Rambling Man. Martin Edward's my first and middle name. You know, I'm going to keep my surname to myself for the moment. I suppose an enterprising person might be able to find it out. You know, the internet is the internet. You know, nothing's secret anymore. I've got to bring a cloth out to take my cup off the stove when it gets hot and boiled. That's going to be entertaining. I might have to use a corner of my jacket. Or the sleeve pulled up. So yeah, and while I was looking at all this, expressing my thoughts and intentions to the good lady, and and she is no camper. She did it a couple of times when she was younger and had miserable trips. And it's never going to happen again. So I was expressing my thoughts that I want to go out and do this and get back to enjoying a bit of camping, maybe one weekend in each month. You know, so much for January. Yeah. I could probably set up in the back garden, but the back garden's looking like a there you go. It's looking quite wet. And just so this is what I'm doing at the moment. Yeah. Going out walking was always an excuse to do a bit of photography. Not really needed an excuse to go and do some photography, you know. But it's an excuse to be out there. And so as a consequence, I'm a kind of gearhead. My folks will attest to that. I've always been a gearhead. Yeah, if there's a piece of gear for it, I tend to have it. Yeah. I tend to pick it up, I tend to play with it, and if it's any good, I keep using it, and if it's no good, I stop using it, and it just ends up sitting on the shelf gathering dust. So yeah, it's dangerous watching loads of people reviewing stuff. I'm not going to go crazy. So my intention is to go out, and the missus is understandable. She's supportive, which is great, it's wonderful. And she turned around at me and said, "You're going to record your adventures." I'm not going to record my adventures. Okay, I can do that. can't be too hard. Plenty of other people are doing it, you know. And I thought, well, okay, give me another excuse to use some of the software that I've got. Why not? Yeah. And another excuse and another reason to dig the GoPro out, play with that. Got a couple. In fact, I've got 3. I've got a really old one somewhere. So that's why I started doing this. I thought, oh, I'm not going to do any scripted. Yeah, I'm not really going to do reviews. It's going to be me and my thoughts. Yeah, rambling thoughts. Hence the title. It covers the walking as well, because you can rambling over the hills. Yeah. Rambling in the head and rambling on the feet. A bit of fun. And that's all it's about. It's a bit of fun. So, recording another piece this week. See if it catches on. Believe it or not, in the 1 week that I've had one video up, I had 1 subscriber before. Some random person, I have no idea who they are, and I now have 4 or 5 random subscribers, apart from the missus, but the only one I know who's actually subscribed. I doubt if this will ever become monetised. I'll never make any money out of it. It's a bit of fun. At least this week, while I've been sat here spouting my thoughts and thinking and waiting to catch it to boil off, to get up to a good heat. It's really going slow. Last week I got a rolling boil pretty darn quick. Keep it stoked. Yeah, this week I haven't had an aeroplane take off or land. I live right by Birmingham Airport. No secret. And you kind of get used to the noise, and I never even noticed the one that came into land while I was recording my piece to camera last week. And it was only when I come to edit up, that I was kind of like, oh darn. Well, I'm not going back out there again, so I'll just have to finish off with what I've got. This week I brought the camera out just so that I can take incidentals. Yeah. I'm making a nice mess of the garden as well. Sort of paper ash everywhere. Yeah, so little incidentals floating around. Not that there will be many, but maybe when I get out there, really out there, instead of sitting in the garden making a brew on an open fire. But anyway, that's my thoughts. That's where I'm going at with this. Nothing in too much. Yeah. Just neat, cheeky little fire, and a few words. So until next time, I'll catch you later. Ta-da!